Alright, so I'm going to be doing a VOD review for Temp0rize. They play mostly Sig this game, and then on offense they play a little bit of Mauga, and then swap to Ramatra and Cesaria. For starters, this is a poke map. I do think Sigma is quote-unquote the meta. I don't think it makes that much of a difference what character you play on this map, especially on, like silverish, right? I don't know exactly what rank you are. You say the skill rating of this lobby is bronze 1 to gold 5. I'd say your gameplay looks roughly silverish, maybe gold 5. I don't know exactly. But you suffer from a lot of the same mistakes that a lot of people kind of in silver, maybe low gold make. And I'll get to that in a second. But specifically, you're asking how to beat Zarya. And my tip for you to beat Zarya is to stop shooting her bubbles, right? I'll say as you rank up, this isn't always the case. But at where you are right now, you should be not shooting Zarya's bubbles because you're kind of shooting them for no reason. I'll demonstrate this here, right? So you see Zarya's bubbling here. She bubbles again, you keep shooting her for no reason. Die for it, right? Really, all you did here was give Zarya 90 charge, so you pretty much just like double her DPS for no reason, right? Okay, she only has 57 charge somehow. She didn't play as well as she could have. Still greatly increase her DPS here for no reason. Right? She could have gotten much more charge if her movement was better. She could have. But that's beside the point, right? You pretty much maybe 1.5 times her damage here, right? So she's doing like 140-ish DPS right now. But at baseline, she does like 90-ish, right? That doesn't, as a tank, that's not something to worry too much about. It's not very high, but 140, you have to start respecting it, right? Especially when she's like a max charge. I think she does like 180-ish DPS. Yeah, that can kill you very quickly, right? So where you are, you should focus on not shooting her bubbles when she uses them, right? And I'll demonstrate that again here, right? Walking up, it's okay. She's kind of weak here, right? When you first turn the corner, you see she's kind of weak. But I'll go over this later. You know she's gonna have both her bubbles because you died earlier, so she's like the fight just started more or less. So even though she looks slow, and this is why I'm saying not to shoot her bubbles for no reason particularly, but you should get in the habit of not shooting them in general, is because she's getting double pocketed by her supports. So her HP is going up like 160 right now because Moira, Anna actually do a lot of healing, right? So even though she was maybe like 200 HP when you first peaked her, she's gonna have both her bubbles, which are 200, block 200 damage, and she's getting healed for 160. So her 200 HP is actually 200 HP plus 400 HP in bubbles, plus 160 healing per second from both of her supports. So she's not actually killable right now, right? And again, same thing. You're just shooting the bubbles here, right? Shooting this one still, right? Kind of no reason. And all you've done is just like 1.5 to 2 times her damage, right? Like she's at 80 charge this time. Her bubbles she was probably like 10, 15 charge at the beginning of the fight. That's beside the point, right? You're just increasing her damage for no reason, and she's not killable, right? You're wasting all your ammo and all your health to blow up her bubbles. And like, yeah, you're destroying her bubbles, but she's safe here because she's behind cover and has both her supports healing her, and you just lost all your armor and like half your health, right, to do that, right? And you're just gonna die here. So really, at your level, you should be focusing on trying not to give her charge. I'll add the caveat as you rank up. You should be looking for opportunities, right, to see when she wastes bubbles, right, and shoot her anyways to blow them up to kill her just through her bubbles anyways. Because like I said, they're only 200 HP, and as everyone ranks up, they'll notice more and more often that Zarya is out of position and killable when they use bubbles in a bad position, right? I guess a quintessential example of this is if like a hog hooks a Zarya with one bubble across the map, like you just have to imagine for a second, like imagine you're playing hog and Zarya's here and she burns a bubble. You can hook her around the corner and body block her here and just shoot her bubble and shoot her because she's out of LOS of her supports now, right? And you're body blocking her from walking just back into her team. And she's in LOS of your entire team. So your team will just do like 1,000 DPS to her and literally just kill her before she can get back to her team. Right? So that's like an exception to the rule, right? But like I said earlier, you should focus on not shooting her for like at all when she's bubbling. And gradually work in exceptions as you rank up. Okay. Anyways, I think your main two problems right now is that you're not playing cover. Yeah, tanks have a lot of HP, right? You know, they have often 2 to 3 times the amount of HP that DPS do, right? But you still don't want to take damage for no reason, right? Every time you take damage, you force your supports to heal you instead of shooting the enemies themselves, right? If you notice, only 2 people on a team can heal, but all 5 can shoot, right? Unless you're playing like Mercy or like Life Lever, right? Those are kind of exceptions, and that's why they're not very good, especially in 5v5 in my opinion. But that's besides the point, right? If everyone shoots you at the same time, you will take more damage than your team can heal, right? And this is kind of like not going to happen in silver or gold, stuff like this. But every time you make mistakes of peeking at a bad time, your teammates may make the mistake of healing you, right? And put themselves out of position, right? When they ideally should be just shooting the enemy team to stop them from walking forward, right? Yeah, if everyone, my point is if everyone is shooting, people can't walk. But if therefore your supports are forced to heal, then people are able to walk, right? I mean, it's not always that simple, but just conceptually, that's kind of how it goes. And you're just setting yourself up to waste cooldowns and resources from yourself alone, right? Just by being in the open and taking unnecessary damage, right? So if you're not playing around cover, you can just always pick a corner and do your best to play around it, right? Don't always peek the enemy if you can't get value. And 2, your cooldowns need a lot of work, in my opinion. You don't get a value out of like them pretty much all the time. I'll go this like character by character, obviously, because every cooldown's different. But you just happen to like just randomly use them, in my opinion, all the time. And this is like making you vulnerable to get killed and not like get picks yourself. So perfect example here. I'd imagine this is a misclick. They can't even peek you. They literally can't peek you yet. The only way they peek you is if like they just Juno's ring, like Symmetra teleport out of spawn and just like start shooting you for some reason. So yeah, it's just completely pointless to do this, right? Here, this is what I'm talking about. You see, your range only goes to about like here, right? Somewhere around here. You can't even shoot them yet. Like you literally cannot damage them yet. So you have to either walk forward to shoot them, right? To actually shoot them, or just wait, play the cover, wait for them to peek you, right? I'm sure you can imagine, based on what I said earlier about you not playing cover, which is the right option, right? And obviously walking forward is the wrong option. Just playing this cover, waiting for them to walk forward a little bit so they're within your range to damage them is the right option. So here you're putting your shield forward for no reason. Like I said, you can't even shoot them yet, you see? I'll actually demonstrate exactly where your things are exploding. Right, I think you walked a little further than I thought. It's not that big of a deal though, but you see it's still not even close. You're shooting the Lucio. He's like 10 meters away from where your things are exploding, right? Like just wait. Don't even waste your shield. There's literally no point. You're just wasting your shield for no reason and getting nothing in return, right? You've done like 20 damage to the Orisa. And again, the cool thing about cover is it's basically a free shield, right? You can just, hide here, shoot, peek out, hide back, right? If the Lucio starts peeking like this, you can just literally sit here. No one else on his team can shoot you, right? I mean, I guess this Sojourn is almost able to shoot you, but if you just sit here, you can just shoot the Lucio for free, and he's the only one that can shoot you, right? He doesn't do that much DPS, but by swinging so wide for no reason, you're wasting your shield, and you're taking a ton of unnecessary damage, right? It's okay.
What is it?
You're I will say, because you kind of take so much damage and waste your resources, and you don't kite the best, right? You're actually susceptible to dying here because the Sombra hacks you and you get really low, right? So now your entire team is forced to heal you instead of doing anything else. okay. You live. It's a decent rock. Alright, get the kill. I wouldn't even bother trying to rock the Ana. She's really far away, and obviously the lamp hole's in the way. Kind of a waste in my opinion, right? Unfortunate. If her teleport was better, I'd just ignore her most of the time. Shoot her once, because as tank, if you turn around for, like, especially one flanker, the entire enemy team's gonna walk through. They obviously, she commits too early, but you have to be careful about spending too much time looking at flankers, right? So here, right, don't rock a gold Orisa. She's immune to CC when she's gold. I was about to say here would be a good time to shield, right? So you don't eat all this storm arrow damage from Hanzo. Just shield here and walk forward on him, right? The Lucio just died. The Sombra's still dead, right? So they only have 3 players alive. Put a shield here so he can't shoot you, and just do your best to kill him, right? He's overextended. He's within range of you being able to kill him. And if you shield like hereish, right, the Ana can't sleep or nade you, right? I don't know. I think she used nade earlier. But you won't be taking damage from this guy, and the Orisa won't be able to kill you. The 5v1 or the 5v3, whatever. No reason to use this, right? I mean, you're full HP. They don't even need to shoot you. They're just giving you stuff for free. Would have been nice if you hit that, but it's okay. Yeah, no reason to shield, right? The only person shooting you is Orisa. What you should ideally be doing is waiting out her gold, because when Orisa golds, she takes half damage, right? And unless your entire team's shooting her, she's not going to die. You know, looking at the position of your team, your BAP and Ana literally can't shoot her, and your Ashe has to swing wide to shoot her, right? Which is dangerous for her, right? So when she's gold, just let her gold, let her waste the cooldown, get no value, and just play closer to this corner, right? Kind of like I said earlier with the Lucio, if you just literally walk here, don't need a shield, and you can just shoot the Hanzo for free, right? You know, if he starts like getting good damage on you, then you shield, but like right now, no reason to shield. You're just burning it for when you need to use it later. Right? Yeah, and you kind of have to let this Sombra do her thing. You can't do everything as tank, right? You should be thinking about keeping the 4 players in front of you from running over your team, and letting your backline deal with the Sombra, right? If your backline keeps losing to Sombra, unfortunately, you're probably going to lose the game anyways, because you're getting value on tank by like stopping 4 people from walking forward to support the Sombra, right? Okay, that was probably meant to hit the Orisa. You really shouldn't be just chucking your rock at tanks like at neutral, right? The Orisa's full HP, and she's not swinging your team yet, right? And you know there's a Sombra distracting at least one of your players right now. You should either not use it or use it to try to punish an overextending squishy player, right? And try to get a one shot on him. Like Lucio, if you stun him and shoot him, like if your teammates shoot him at all, he'll just die, for example. Yeah, no reason to use this. You're pretty much full HP, right? Again, imagine if you didn't just burn all your shield and didn't burn your eat or grasp or whatever, and just put a shield here and push this Hanzo. You could definitely kill him very easily right now. You're just wasting cooldowns and like not giving yourself opportunities to walk forward. Right? Okay, yeah, no reason to be afraid here. They drop 3 players. I would say if you shield when you know they have stuns, right? If you shield a corner and then rock, this Orisa would have died. Yeah, stuns obviously hit you out of rock. I'm sure you can see that now. Spam. You should have kept looking at that. Maybe your I know you said you were duoed. Maybe you said you're duoed with your Ana. I'm not sure which support you're duoed with, and she told you the Orisa was anti. That's okay. I'll just try to keep shooting the Sombra there. That's alright. So here, no need to ult. You just killed their tank, and Sombra. You saw the Sombra was exceptionally low, so she's not in the fight, and or shouldn't be in the fight, right? And you know, their Ana's in spawn, their Hanzo's in spawn, more or less. One, right? There's no reason. This is a one fight. You killed their tank really early, and this Lucio is overextended now. So even killing Lucio doesn't do anything. This is a one fight anyways. But if the Sombra got healed fast and came back, she could hack you out of it, so you get literally no value with it at all, right? But obviously the macro thing that's the problem is that you ult for no reason, and I guess you bait your Ana into nanoing you, but like the Lucio's already half HP, right? Flux does half HP on the land, it does 50 on the raise, and does half, and ignores damage reduction now for whatever reason. It's probably the strongest tank ultimate in the game, and you just kind of throw it away on a half health Lucio when their tank's dead, right? Right. Small thing with Sigma Flux, right? You can look at Sigma gameplay guides. You could throw your shield up in the air to block stuns, right? You know, throw your shield up here, for example. You don't have to keep going up, right? I mean, the people, when you lift them up, are completely stationary. You literally just fly up behind your shield, stand still, right? So, you know, your shield blocks all the crowd control, and just shoot the people that literally can't move, right? No reason to do this. You're just exposing yourself for no reason. Yeah, I think since you have time to wait for their tank to come back anyways, I think chasing the Sombra away now is fine, right? Everyone else is spawn, so. You see, you just burnt like your entire shield for no reason, right? You could have avoided taking all this damage literally by doing this, right? This is gonna be a recurring theme. I'm not gonna pause for it anymore, but same thing here. They have literally no reason to shoot you. You can just back up on this corner much more easily. Generally speaking, I would say as tank, you don't want to be backing up to use the window. You want to be pushing in front of the window, because as you rank up, right, windows, people are going to be looking to kite windows, right? And you being in front of the window, receive double healing from anything that's behind the window, right? So you want to force people, use the fact that you have double healing to like really aggress, or force people into LOS of your window so that it just explode, right? Good kill on the Lucio. He probably would have died regardless, even if you weren't behind window. Like, these people are trolling. Like, they have literally no reason to be peeking the window. And they just peek it, you get value, yeah. But as you rank up, they'll just literally kite window. They see you pop window, maybe the Lucio dies, but literally everyone else on the team will just AFK literally right here, right? The window gets no value if they just literally stand still here, right? So something to keep in mind. Looking for the Sombra here is fine. You know, everyone else is dead, so just be aware that the entire team did just respawn. You know, so don't put too much effort into looking to her. Especially at Sigma, you have no mobility and your shots are really slow, so you know it's a low percentage chance you just run into her. Again, not playing around cover here and just burning a ton of resources. So don't look for the Sombra here. You see, this is when looking at the Sombra is really, really bad. This entire team is swinging on you and your team right now. This is when you really cannot be looking at the Sombra, because now you just took like 400 damage because you were looking away from the enemy team, right? You have full shield. Granted, you also wasted your grasp, right? Like I said, you know, just kind of wasting cooldowns for no reason. I guess I'll say when you use grasp, you either want to use it when you're like about this amount of HP, right? And when people think you're killable, you just use it to eat spam directed towards you and like buy yourself an extra second or two of being more or less invulnerable. Or you use it to like peek corners where you know there's going to be a ton of spam where you know you can't get punished, right? So all the time at like higher ranks, when I push like this corner and I'm playing Sig on this map, for example, it's not unusual for me to like just use my suck at this corner, right? And just eat like a billion projectiles of spam and just get like 200 extra health. And then, you know, they're going to be far enough away that if I really get pressured, I just back anyways, and I'll be perfectly fine. But it's something to keep in mind, right? You're just kind of using it for no reason a lot. You're like really healthy, and no one's shooting. No one should be shooting. Again, just sitting out in the middle of the map, right? A ton of damage. I will say, you know, if you didn't use your flux and nano, maybe you could have used them here, right? I mean, you almost do another one, so it's not the end of the world, but You could have continued to win more fights if you just didn't waste it earlier as well, so, right. Now, I wouldn't be too upset about losing that fight, but your fundamentals still could have been better. You know, they just used 3 ults in one, so it happens. You guys had no ults, really, so. Aim could be a bit better here, right? Just, I would ignore the Sombra. Like I said, Sigma is not very good at just randomly hitting her, right? I mean, if you're on like Diva, you could just randomly just shoot and hit her because you have a pretty fast fire rate and your guns have a good amount of spread, so you know that's an opportunity. But like, just focus on the people you can spread. Yeah, no reason to do this, right? You can walk forward there still. Shoot goes a little far forward. No reason to be so afraid. You can peek a little wider, right? Again, ignore the Sombra. Maybe you're doing it with the BAF, I'm not sure. Yeah, I would be looking to push, right? Their Hanzo just respawned, the Sombra just died, so. Yeah, do your best to look at someone here that's not the tank. The tank's gonna take the longest to kill. Okay, killing that guy. You can afford to get a little bit more aggressive here, right? You just killed their tank, the Hanzo. I mean, you just killed their Hanzo and their tank was dead, so. It's fine, right? I think going back is perfectly fine. You don't want to play too close to the choke as Sigma, so. Don't bother shielding your team like that, especially in small doorways. The enemy team will just literally go a different doorway. Again, eating too much spam, you're sitting out in the open. That's no reason. I say too close, Sigma. That's okay though. I'd be careful. Yeah, I was about to say their Sombra has hack. It's kind of annoying, but she can cancel you from just hacking you. But they should have also had Spear and Sleep. Seer. And those both can cancel your Flux. You can see the Orisa has her Spear, right? And the Ana has her Sleep. They just don't use it even if they don't have a Sombra, right? You can't just Flux in the open. You have to put like a shield up or play closer around cover. If you're going to do that right, they could have easily canceled this because you're in the open, right? I don't know why literally the Orisa isn't looking at you. She can't get picked up by the Flux and gold. And it's taking cover, whatever. But they have multiple ways of stopping your ult, so you gotta play cover or use your shield more. Right? Okay. You stall enough for your team to get picks. I'd be looking to, you know, get this Pharah. Nice. It's a good stagger. Here I'd be looking to set up top right. You know, unfortunately they made the rotation way longer now. If you come up here, you can see everywhere they can come from, right? You can see if they walk in left, they see if they walk in main, you see if they walk in bottom right. And you know, if they come in lower right and main, you can spam them easily. And if they rotate left, you can still spam left. You know, you stand up here or something. It depends exactly where they go left, exactly what you want to do, but you have options. Sitting up like here isn't the play, right? You just have to let them walk a sig a lot of times. Just like spam them on the way in. You can't hold chokes like Reinhardt can, for example. So. You see how you can just waste time sitting in the middle, right? I guess you're looking for the Sombra. Right, just look me. So you probably do it with the BAF. So your team just carries that and just kills the tank somehow, even though you pretty much did nothing that fight. Right, so. That's definitely not consistent. Okay, regardless, you know, decent hold.
Good thing I always win.
Skip forward here. Here, no reason to come out of that spawn really. I mean, it's not really that big of a deal. You're right, on Mauga especially, because he has no shields. And, you know, no, like, I mean, he has this run that's CC immune, but you don't have like a shield or a eat or like a defense matrix, you know, nothing like that. So you have to be very careful about standing out in the open. Yeah, so you're also a huge target, so just pushing card here is perfectly fine, right? It's decent cover. We already went over this early, right? Just don't shoot the Zarya for no reason here. Just need double pocketed, which you can break LS from team really easily, right? You can see how much playing out in the open is just like causing you to explode. Your entire view model is exposed, but imagine if you're playing more like your Reaper. Like you were just sitting here, just peeking the Zarya every now and then, right? Shooting her a bit, see if you can bait out a bubble, right? Maybe shoot the Mei, shoot the, come on this side, for example, shoot the Ashe a little, right? You're way safer here, and like you're gonna take way less damage, right? Here you just explode because you just peek 5 people and feed the Zarya a ton of charge, right? So against their comp, I wouldn't advise using your charge too often. The Zarya can bubble whoever you like try to stomp. The Moira can fade away. The Ashe can coach gun away, the Ana can sleep or nade you, and the Mei can wall you off, or just ice block, right? So if you just charge in without using, and I'm bringing this up because against some comps you can kind of just charge in wherever you want. They have a lot of ways of punishing you or just completely avoiding your engage. So it's something to keep in mind. Right, I think generally speaking you'd be using your charge to run away from like important cooldowns or something. So walk up here, you can't do anything to the Ashe from this range, right? Just keep walking, no reason to be this far away, right? Yeah, you have a minigun that's hit scan, but you have damage fall off and you also spread, right? If you came over here, it's way easier to shoot the Ashe, you'll do like a ton more damage to her, and if you start getting lit up by her, you literally just do this, right? Out here, right, you do no damage to her and she can light you up, no problem, right? So it's something to keep in mind, right? Play your effective range, not the effective range of your targets. You're scared for no reason here, they can't kill you right now, right? As long as you play cover, you just can't die. Okay, we kind of went over this already, but you can see, you're peeking 5 players, right? This is the same mistake that Ariso was making every now and then on offense, right? Your team isn't swinging the corner, right? I mean, yes, they kind of are now. But beforehand, when you were in, like there was a second or two where your team wasn't ready yet, right? They're just barely peeking the corner right now, and I think your supports are basically LOS'd by this thing. So all 5 people have like literally nothing else to do than shoot you. So you're just gonna explode here, right? This is why playing cover is so important. So you won't just randomly die. You take so much damage from this, right? So they just walk on you because you get too close, you get too weak, right? Here you may have been able to charge out, like if you charge here and angle this way, for example, you could probably charge out here. But like, I'm sure you can see that was just a bad engage to begin with. So I think the swap's coming here for Macho, right? Honestly, I didn't really talk much about Mauga's E. I guess I'll mention it, right? When the enemy tank doesn't have like ways of, generally speaking, you want to use your E to sustain yourself. When the enemy tank doesn't have like ways of stopping your damage, you use E then, right? So against Zarya, if she uses both her bubbles, right, or one bubble and like the other one's on cooldown, you know, when she has like no resources, right, you use it and then you just like can't die because you just heal off of all the damage you do, right? On Reinhardt, you use it when like his shield's really low and you just blow it up and then just keep healing off him for free, right? It's really kind of a straightforward ability. If you play Mauga more and I look at more of your replays, right, I can take a closer look. So you're really gonna pay on Ramatra for your like shields, right? This literally does nothing. I mean, you shield off the Zarya and she literally just walks on the other side of the card, right? Again, you kind of throw this and like it hits no one, right? No one's even like pretty close to where you throw it, so there's no value here, right? Here's just sitting out in the open, right? If you see the Mei is here, okay, just walk over here. Right, now you force a 1v1 to the Mei, right? And now the Ashe can't shoot you, the Zarya can't shoot you, the Moira can't shoot you, you know, etc, etc. You have to consider like where you can take cover so you can isolate people, right? This isn't the best shield, but it's okay because at least now you can shoot people, right? You can actually take a bit of space with it. Here you might have been able to get out of this if you popped your Nemesis form and just walked away, because Nemesis form has a faster move speed. You're probably going to lose this fight anyways because they use 2 ults and your Mei also gets your Baptiste. So you're going to be walking away, right? Your entire team's dead. Kill the Mei, it's nice, force a nano. They didn't need to do either of that, right? They shouldn't be losing this fight. I will say, I think your Ramattra should be pretty decent to Zarya. Depends. But he's really tanky in his Nemesis form, right? You also have that 1000 HP shield. It's not as like good at blocking Zarya's Reinhardt shield, obviously, but it gives you a lot of time to like mitigate damage. So again, bad shield, right? Like literally, this doesn't help you do anything. They're just too far away, right? Literally, just spam them. Again, they're so far away. If you start taking damage, just take cover, right? I mean, literally no reason to use a shield here. Same thing with your eat, right? You just kind of throw it across the map and it gets no value. I would not be standing still. You see this Mei's doing way more damage to you than you are to her. That's typical for DPS, right? Tanks have either like really inconsistent or like limited damage options, right? Like your staff is inconsistent, for example, and your punch mode Nemesis form only has limited range. That's usually like the general thing for tanks. Well, DPS have much more consistent damage in general, right? So again, bad shield, right? You can't even use it. Imagine if you had shield now, right? You could shield off the Bob for your team. No reason to slow the Bob. He literally can't move. And now you're stuck using your Nemesis form and keep yourself alive for the bomb. You just die in minutes, right? Just get slept. But that's okay. They use 2 ults. Again, if they use a lot of ults and you guys don't use any, generally not the end of the world, right?
30 seconds remaining.
We're out of time. Attack.
Okay, I'll skip just a little bit here. Walking up. That's fine, right? It could be a bit better. Okay, nice kill. The man had no reason to die. It was a really bad blizzard by her, as I'm sure you can see. The only person that would be in LOS to shoot you is her, and you're just getting pocketed by your Juno, so you're never going to die. Oh, good kill regardless, right? I say it's a decent shield there, because you don't want to get anti'd, in my opinion. Right? It's fine ult, right? This is good, yep, chasing kills is good. Give ult. Here, right, just standing in the open, look how much damage you're taking for no reason. I'll also add that your movement is, it could be a bit better, right? You're just kind of walking back in the same spot over and over again so the Mei doesn't have to move her mouse. This is fine, right? You have to wait for the cart to move up anyways, so I wouldn't get too aggressive, right? It's okay to play on cart most of the time, early in the fight. Could have gotten a little more aggressive, they don't have a tank, but it's okay, whatever. Not the biggest problem in the world. Here I'd be looking to get out, 2 of your teammates just died, right? Keeping numbers in mind is very important. It's okay to shield here to save your soldier. They're better, they'll kill him. Yeah, I was about to say they'll kill him anyways, so. Kill him anyways, so. Right, just get out, wait for your team to regroup, right? Again, this is kind of like highlights the problem with your shield. You're shielding when you can't see anyone, right? And you just completely abandon the shield. It kind of gets no value. Imagine now if you had shield like right about now when you swing this corner, you block the Mei off from getting heals, you can shoot their backline for free, and if the Zarya pushes you, you can shield dance, right? And you're just kind of wasting in these doorways, not getting a lot of value. I recommend maybe watching a few unranked GMs to get some like ideas of how to use cooldowns. Right? I can't explain it in every situation. At least it won't be valuable to like explain exactly how to use your cooldowns every single time you do something. I'm just telling you right now, you're wasting them a lot, right? Like right now, I think that would generally speaking be a good slow because you cut off their exit, right? I'll add like here when you use your slow, generally you want to throw it in like choke points or where people have to retreat from, right? So yeah, in principle that was a good slow, but I don't think that was ignoring everything else, like ignoring your HP, ignoring your positioning, right? That was in principle a good slow. That's what you would have been looking for, right? Let's get forward just a bit here, right? No reason to shield, the May can literally, yep, just literally walk away. And you can just take space anyways without shielding. So you should probably be dead here. I'm saying you should probably be dead because this Ana can sleep and nade you and you'll just die. And this is a problem not playing around cover, right? The Ana is very dangerous to tanks without like consistent shields because she can do that, right? If you just play closer to cover and try to your best to LOS her, right? So if she's playing up here, let her just walk over here, right? And she can't shoot you anymore. Or you force her to swing wider out, right? And you can still shoot these people on cart, right? I mean, literally, you just come over here and shoot them like this, right? But this is okay, right? You know, they're not paying attention. You go in, it's fine. They're all stacked up, so being valuable. Here, you can still, I'd be blocking, right? You can see even now, you cut it really close. Good lamp by your BAP. Definitely could have played that one a bit better, right? Way too close for no reason. Yep, and now I'm just sitting on cart. I don't think they can recontest here. Yep, spamming out the dude. Very nice. I don't know why the tracer didn't try to touch. That's okay, whatever. Okay, so, right, I'll reiterate. I think you really need to work on taking cover, right, and playing around corners a lot better. And also trying to rotate your cooldowns better, right? Specifically for that, I recommend watching some unranked GMs. You know, whatever characters you play to see how other people use their cooldowns. I kind of explained in short how to use them, right? And maybe just seeing actual examples of people using them correctly will, you know, give you more ideas than just me explaining generally how to use them and what you were doing and how and why what you were doing was incorrect, right? So, in this regard, I'd recommend trqstme. I'll put it in the description of this video. He actually has an unranked GM on tank, and he plays Sigma, Diva, and Ramatra, and those are pretty good tanks for all different styles of gameplay. I think you mentioned in your post that you're trying to mostly do brawl and poke, and like Ramatra is still pretty good at brawl. I think Mauga is a bit better right now, but it's not really that big of a deal in silver or gold, whatever. And Sigma is like pretty much the only like true poke tank in the game. Really the only other like poke tank is Hog, and he's a bit of a special case. So yeah, I'll leave you with that, and I hope this helps.